October 1st, 1975, the Philippines is sweltering under the relentless heat, and two legendary warriors, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, are about to step into the ring for their third and final showdown. This fight, known as the Thriller in Manila, would become one of the most brutal battles in boxing history, capturing the attention of fans across the globe. Ali, the self-proclaimed greatest, had faced Frazier twice before, each bout more intense than the last. Their rivalry was filled with fierce, personal insults, a competition that transcended sport. As the air thickened with anticipation, the question loomed: who would emerge victorious? 14 rounds of sheer brutality awaited them, a fight so grueling that Ali himself would later say it felt like the closest thing to dying he had ever experienced. But what if I told you that despite his ultimate victory, Ali secretly regretted this titanic clash? What if he knew, deep down, that this fight would change not just his life, but Frazier's as well? It was a brutal contest that would leave both men physically and emotionally scarred. Get ready to dive into the intense world of boxing as we explore the real story behind this monumental match, the stakes involved, and the personal battles fought both inside and outside the ring. It's a tale of rivalry, respect, and remorse, delving into the motivations and consequences that define their legendary careers. The origins of a rivalry. Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier weren't always bitter enemies. In fact, their relationship began with mutual respect. When Ali was banned from boxing in 1967 for refusing to be drafted into the Vietnam War, Frazier stood by him, offering support. He even lent Ali money to help him through those tough times. During this period, Frazier was the reigning heavyweight champion, yet he believed that Ali deserved the chance to return to the ring. His advocacy even extended to urging the U.S. government to reinstate Ali's boxing license. However, once Ali returned to boxing, everything changed dramatically. The pair's respect quickly metamorphosed into a fierce rivalry. As soon as their fight was announced for March 8, 1971, at Madison Square Garden, Ali unleashed a relentless barrage of taunts and insults. He labeled Frazier a gorilla, a term that deeply hurt Frazier, who had risen from poverty to achieve success. Frustration mounted for Frazier, as he had once considered Ali a friend. This dramatic shift pushed their once friendly bond into a contentious state. Ali saw his insults as psychological tactics to gain an upper hand in the fight. However, for Frazier, the words felt personal, leaving emotional scars. Their relationship, once cordial, devolved into a fierce rivalry marked by resentment and bitterness. Ali's remarks damaged Frazier's reputation, especially within the African-American community, creating a schism between the two fighters. The backdrop of their rivalry, fueled by personal betrayal and competitive spirit, set the stage for a historic showdown that neither fighter would ever forget. The fight of the century. The date was March 8, 1971, when two undefeated heavyweight champions, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, stepped into the ring at Madison Square Garden. It was dubbed the Fight of the Century, a title that carried immense weight, considering the stakes involved. Ali, known for his speed, and Frazier, renowned for his relentless power, were at the peak of their powers, both looking to solidify their legacy. The atmosphere was electric, with anticipation building among the crowd, as celebrities and politicians cheered for their favorites. From the opening bell, Ali came out strong, utilizing his footwork and dazzling speed to keep Frazier at bay. However, Frazier, determined to land his devastating left hooks, pressed forward aggressively, refusing to back down. As the rounds progressed, it became a battle of wills, with Ali's precision against Frazier's seemingly unyielding strength. The crowd roared as Frazier landed significant punches, wearing Ali down. By the 15th round, both fighters were battered and exhausted, but they pushed through sheer determination. The fight reached its climax when Frazier landed a crushing left hook that sent Ali to the canvas for the first time in his career. With the scorecards in his favor, Frazier achieved a unanimous decision victory, but the toll of the match was evident on both boxers. The epic clash changed their lives forever and marked a defining moment in boxing history, cementing both fighters' status as legends. The road to Manila. After an intense rivalry that developed over the years, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier faced each other for the final time in the legendary match known as the Thrilla in Manila. This monumental clash was not just a fight, but rather the culmination of years of tension and fierce competition. It all began with Frazier's support of Ali during his ban from boxing. When Ali refused to be drafted into the Vietnam War, Frazier stood by him, lending emotional and financial support. However, once Ali returned to the ring, the tides turned sharply, with Ali launching a series of biting insults at Frazier, branding him a guerrilla and undermining his achievements. This marked a significant shift, as what was once a friendship morphed into a bitter rivalry fueled by personal attacks. As the two champions prepared to face off again in 1975, the narrative was steeped in animosity. Ali had just reclaimed his heavyweight title in the iconic Rumble in the Jungle, making him more determined than ever to crush Frazier. The upcoming match was not only about belts. It was a fight for pride, honor, and legacy, a battle that was sure to solidify or tarnish their names in boxing history. As the hype grew, so did the intensity of their exchanges, with Ali's psychological tactics aiming to rattle Frazier. The stage was strategically set, as both fighters were willing to risk everything. The anticipation was palpable, leaving fans eagerly awaiting the brutal showdown that would unfold in the sweltering heat of Manila. The Thrilla in Manila begins. On October 1st, 1975, in the sweltering heat of the Philippines, history was primed for a clash that would reshape boxing forever. The atmosphere crackled as Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier prepared to step into the ring for the third and final time, a match dubbed the Thrilla in Manila. From the moment the bell rang, it was evident that this wasn't merely a technical showcase. It was a war, a testament to their fierce rivalry. Both fighters entered the arena driven by the weight of their past, the heat reaching unbearable levels, with temperatures soaring over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The crowd of 25,000 roared as Frazier launched his attacks, relentlessly targeting Ali's body with powerful hooks. Ali, with his signature speed and agility, employed his jab and footwork to evade his opponent's attacks. But the sheer intensity of Frazier's assault began to take its toll. As the early rounds unfolded, sweat poured, fatigue set in, yet neither champion showed any sign of backing down. With every punch exchanged, the stakes heightened, fueling both men's determination and resolve. It was a fight that transcended boxing, representing pride, legacy, and unyielding spirit. As they exchanged blows under the scorching sun, they were not just battling for glory, they were fighting for their very identities for a place in history. The narrative of the Thrilla in Manila was just beginning, and it would push both warriors to their limits, as the echoes of their conflict would resonate long after the final bell tolled. It would be a day when the ring became a battlefield, and the world bore witness to a legendary showdown between two of the greatest fighters that ever lived. A fight like no other. The Thrilla in Manila was not just a boxing match. It was a brutal war between two of the greatest fighters in history, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, on October 1st, 1975. The air was heavy, the temperature soared, and the stakes couldn't have been higher as both men stepped into the ring, knowing that this fight would define their legacies. From the very first bell, it was evident that they were not just fighting for a title, they were fighting for pride, respect, and their place in history. The relentless onslaught of punches, a combination of skill and willpower, made every round feel like an eternity, pushing both fighters to their absolute limits. Frazier, known for his ferocious left hooks, relentlessly targeted Ali's body, trying to wear him down, while Ali relied on his unmatched speed and agility to evade and counterattack. The fight became so brutal that it transformed into a battle of endurance, physical and mental. The heat was unbearable, draining their strength, but neither could afford to back down, their rivalry fueled by years of personal insults and psychological tactics that turned a friendship into bitter enmity. As the rounds progressed, both warriors displayed incredible heart and resilience, trading blows in a fight that felt more like a street brawl than a boxing match. Every punch landed echoed the fierce determination of both men. Each round became a fight for survival, a testament to their courage. Ultimately, after a punishing 14 rounds, Ali emerged victorious, but he knew deep down that this fight had taken a toll on him, a realization that would haunt him long after the final bell. The Thriller in Manila stands as a testament to the raw, gritty essence of boxing, showcasing what happens when two legends meet in the ring for a fight like no other. The climax and aftermath. As the 15th round drew near, tensions surged in the arena. Both Ali and Frazier were utterly spent, each man pushing through unimaginable pain. The fight's intensity reached a fever pitch, and the audience held its breath, waiting for what would happen next. Then, in a stunning moment, Frazier's trainer made the gut-wrenching decision to stop the fight, recognizing that Frazier had nothing left to give. Despite his pleas to continue, the call was final. Ali won by TKO, but the victory felt hollow. He collapsed in his corner, exhausted, completely drained, as the weight of the battle settled around him, former greatness overshadowed by the brutal price they both paid. After the fight, Ali struggled to regain his composure, unable to move for 30 minutes in the dressing room. The echoes of the match haunted him, particularly one admission. He almost quit too. Years later, Ali would acknowledge that the trash talk directed at Frazier had crossed a line, making the fight deeply personal rather than just a contest of skill. What had begun as a rivalry had morphed into a traumatic chapter in both their lives. The aftermath left scars, both physical and emotional, that would never fade. Many speculate the fight may have accelerated Ali's health issues later on. Meanwhile, Frazier never forgave Ali for the years of humiliation he suffered. The fight immortalized in history as the Thriller in Manila was more than a battle for a title. It was a war that broke the fighters. They emerged not as heroes, but as men changed forever, haunted by their actions in the ring and the legacy they would leave behind. The legacy and controversy. The fight, known as the Thriller in Manila, left an indelible mark on the history of boxing, and its consequences echo to this day. Not only did it showcase the extraordinary skill and determination of Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, but also became a symbol of the physical and psychological toll that boxing can exact on its athletes. Many believe that this grueling battle accelerated or even contributed to Ali's eventual struggle with Parkinson's disease, a condition that would plague him for the rest of his life. The physical toll on Frazier was also significant. He never quite forgave Ali for the public humiliation he felt during their rivalry, particularly due to Ali's relentless trash talk. The psychological scars ran deep, leaving both men not just as champions, but as figures marred by their fierce competition. In interviews following the fight, both fighters opened up about their feelings of regret. Ali expressed sorrow for how he had treated Frazier, acknowledging that the insults had crossed a personal line. For many, this rivalry wasn't merely about sport, but rather a clash of personalities that revealed the darker side of human ambition. The bitterness that lingered long after their last bout overshadowed the triumph of competitive spirit. Thus, the Thriller in Manila serves as a reminder of the sacrifices athletes make and the enduring complexities of their legacies. While it solidified Ali's greatness in the sport, it also highlighted the heavy price of fame and rivalry, leaving fans to ponder the true cost of such legendary encounters. Did they emerge as heroes, or were they forever changed by what they endured? The debate continues, resonating through generations of boxing enthusiasts. The Thriller in Manila stands as more than just a pivotal boxing match. It represents a profound chapter in the lives of two legendary fighters. Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier left everything in the ring, pushing their bodies and spirits to the limits, testing their resolve like never before. The impact of that fateful fight transcended the sport, shaping their legacies as champions and rivals. It taught the world about the true cost of greatness, where victory was bittersweet, as both warriors bore the scars of a battle that pushed them to the brink. Ali would later express regret over his harsh words and actions leading up to their confrontations, acknowledging how personal it had become. Frazier, too, endured the emotional damage wrought by Ali's cutting remarks. Years of humiliation followed, leaving a lasting mark on their relationship and reverberating through their respective careers. In many ways, the fight encapsulated their journey, revealing the vulnerability and strength inherent in boxing. As fans, we were witnesses to a brutal spectacle that echoed far beyond the ropes, challenging us to consider what it truly means to win and lose. Did Ali claim victory, or did he ultimately pay a higher price? And what of Frazier, a fighter forever changed, unable to reconcile the rift created by their feud? History remembers the punches thrown and the resilience displayed, but it also compels us to reflect on the human experience behind the sport. The story of the Thriller in Manila lives on, reminding us that beneath the glory lies a complex tapestry of emotion, rivalry, and the relentless pursuit of greatness.